Hey, what's going on, everybody? Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. It's been a while since we put up a video. It's been kind of a slump, with Avison Restored still online, and neither me or Randy are really interested in drafting it anymore. They haven't put M13 online yet, but we've drafted it in real life. It's a ton of fun if you haven't drafted it yet. I mean, core sets are so straightforward for limited that I think that's why they're so nice. It's like a breath of fresh air after you've been doing Avison Restored, going back to, a core set limited environment that's like just really straightforward. It's like removal, here you go, here's efficient creatures, tricks. It's just like, all the colors look and seem fine, which is great for a limited environment. Obviously you want some balance in color, otherwise everyone's just going to be, overdrafting green. Such was the case with Avison Restored, or, just stuff like that. So I decided I would put up a standard video since it's been a couple weeks. I apologize for that. We're usually so much better at putting up new content, but we've been real busy with the store and stuff like that, and just drafting at our local store because we really want to just hit M13 hard. It's a lot of fun, by the way, M13, and we're going to be doing a podcast soon and talking about all the cards that we think are going to be making a big splash on standard. But here's my tokens list, so it's been updated. Well, we should probably talk about standard a little bit. Delver, if you don't already know, is the best deck in the format. At this point, I've committed myself to believing that. I really do believe Delver is the best deck in the format. It's a very well-oiled machine. It's extremely strong, consistent, efficient, strong, very, very frustrating to play against. I'm still going to say you compare it to other decks that were, stifling in the environment. Like, if you try to compare it to, like, Cawblade and Fairies and Jund, and, all those decks that just drove people nuts at the time, it's not as bad as that. And whether you believe that or not, I sincerely believe that. It is not as stifling as Cawblade was. I mean, Cawblade made me want to just pull my hair out by the roots. It was so bad to play against. When they were like, oh yeah, Stoneforge Mystic, yeah, we'll get Batterskull, turn 3, cheat that in, turn 4 Jace. It was like, God, if you weren't playing Cawblade at that time, you weren't having a good time. If you were playing Cawblade, you were having a blast. But if you weren't, it was not a fun environment. And Delver does not make me feel like that. Even though, I mean, I should probably be playing Delver. It is the best deck in the format. But I still like to try and brew a little bit and go rogue enough where people don't, quite know what you're doing. This deck is pretty straightforward, so people usually have a pretty good idea what I'm doing. But I have tweaked it to adjust for how much Delver is being played and how good Delver is. So we've got the 4 main deck gut shots, which actually have really good synergy with our timely reinforcements. It usually makes it so we get that full value, get that life plus the soldiers. What else is gut shot good with? I thought there was another piece of synergy in here that it's good with. It'll come to me. I mean, it's pretty decent with Blood Artists, I suppose. Just kill their guy and you at least, lose 1 left's life because you pay 2 and get 1 back if you kill their creature. Whatever. What else have I tweaked in this deck? Divine Offerings out of side, hugely important against the Sword of War and Peace, which can wreck our deck pretty good. We have all this spot removal, which is still good against Delver, even though Geist of St. Traft is a beast to play against. Especially since I don't have any Phyrexian Metamorphs out of side, which would be a very, very legitimate tool to use against that card in particular. We pretty much have to chump block Geist of St. Traft, which sucks. You really don't want to do that because they're running Restoration Angel now, and Restoration Angel is just a ridiculous piece of synergy that deck has access to now, because it's like, oh, I'll resto my Snapcaster, I'll get my Vapor Snag, I'll get another use of that, or I'm going to Restoration Angel my Geist of St. Traft, I'm going to pull him out of this combat situation. You're still taking 4. I now have a 3/4 Angel. The deck is just Delver. I can't say it enough. Best deck in the format, hands down. This deck, though, I'm trying to make it so it can, do battle with Delver effectively. This is a relatively cheap deck to make, too, if you haven't already noticed. I mean, what's the most expensive thing in the deck? Probably, Hero Bladehold. And online, this card is much cheaper than it is in, real-life Paper Magic. I think this card's like $11 or $12 in Paper Magic, and it's like 5 or 6 tickets online. So, surprisingly, like, Gutshot is super expensive online. This is like close to 3 tickets online. It's insane. But I mean, this card's expensive in real life too. It's like $4. No, I was gonna say $4 for a playset, but it might actually be more than that now that I think about it. Maybe like $6 for a playset. I should really know this. Anyway, back to the deck. So what else has been tweaked? I'm not sure if I had ever gotten to the point of playing Blood Artist when you last saw this deck, but it's a really effective card. I like the way this card works against control, making all your tokens into a liability for your opponent. They don't want to sweep because they'll lose too much life, especially in multiples. Also has very good synergy with Mortar Pod, you know, sacrificing guys, dealing damage to them, gaining life, making them lose more life, stuff like that. Very good. Main decking Timely now, just because Delver is so hot in this environment, and Timely can just really bring you back right into it. Timely is so good in this deck because you don't do anything turn 1 now. I've moved Doom Traveler to the side, which I would even like a better sideboard option than Doom Traveler, like Metamorph or something, but Doom Traveler is still good in control matches. You still want to have access to that early beater that gets powered up from your honor, hard to kill, stuff like that. But also good with Mortar Pod. But Timely Reinforcements is insane when you're like turn 1 or turn 0 even. I'm gonna kill your Delver. Turn 2. Lay my Anthem effect. Turn 3, Timely. You've probably played a creature by this point, so I really like how that works. The one of Day of Judgment just works really well with the Blood Artist too. If you get a board state where you're just like a couple Blood Artists and there's just a bunch of stuff on the board, Day of Judgment just ends the game. So it can also save your life. Oblivion Ring main deck. I already had that. This deck's just. I think the power of this deck is it's not like overpowered in any match, but it's very good in like all matches. Like its weakest match is probably after Delver, because like Delver is going to be the best deck to play against for them. Like they're always going to be the powerful deck in that. But Tokens is good in like every match. Maybe another weakness would be like the Esper control deck that main decks the Ratchet Bombs. That's pretty good against this deck, obviously, because main deck and Ratchet Bomb, the majority of what we're killing them with is tokens, so understandably, main deck Ratchet Bomb's good, but this deck is good in, like, against Pod, it's good against red-green aggro, it's just good in every match. There's not really any time where it's like, oh, well, we have a horrible match against this deck. It's nothing like that. Even the Esper control that main decks the Ratchet Bombs, I've picked apart that deck with this deck. You can easily do that. So this deck is good in all matches. I'm here to pilot for a standard 2-man. I'm not going to do a daily event with it yet. So let's get a feel for it. I'm going to go ahead and do a standard 2-man thing here, and I'll see you in a little bit.